Hi everybody, it is Dory. I'm here with an update. I'm trying to make these videos. I just end up getting so busy when I'm not working. Look, my hair is falling. Because, there's not enough time in the day. So don't mind my raggedy mess. Today's Saturday, so I have the day off and I clean and do all of the laundry on Saturdays. So, well, I do laundry during the week, but I finish anything I have is done Saturday. And sometimes if I have a lot, then it's done Sunday for the work and school week ahead. So that's why my hair is all a mess and why I have pajamas on. I mean, why clean in regular clothes when you can be comfy in pajamas, you know? So I had some time. I just wanted to kind of catch you guys up to speed on what's happening. For those of you new here, my name is Dory. I am 50 years old. I am 5'4" tall. And on September 12th of 2016, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy weight loss surgery with Dr. Darren Tischler in Hartford, Connecticut at Hartford Hospital. My highest recorded weight was 350 pounds. My day of surgery weight was 300.5. The lowest I've seen is 156.3. That was in December of 2019. I maintained in the 160s for probably a year and a half. I maintained in the 170s, like 175, like 172 to 175, 176-ish. This past October 12th, I weighed in at 182, so I was creeping up. That's when my doctor gave me Saxenda, which is a weight loss medication. It was originally developed for type 2 diabetes, but in research they figured out that it actually does well with weight loss. And so I started off at the minimum dose and went up each week on the scale that they give you to go by. And then I was doing the 3.0, which is the max that you can do. And I think it was 3 months or so that I was doing it. And so in that time, I got down to 164. So I went down from 182 to 164, and that's what I am now. I was actually on Saxenda only because WEGOVY was not available in October, but at the end of December, they had the company that makes that drug, makes WEGOVY, and also Ozempic is the same drug company, same drug manufacturer, and they announced that the pharmacies had it back in stock. Now, it's going to vary from state to state and pharmacy to pharmacy, but we are lucky enough to have a mail order pharmacy by the name of Brighton Marine. It's in Boston, Massachusetts. I'm in the Western Massachusetts area, and they have had no shortages of any of the medications. My children are on some medications that are sometimes hard to come by. I know Ritalin has been not available, and just all of this other stuff. And so, but we've been very lucky that I don't know if it's because it's a mail order, if it's the military, if it's, I don't know, but we have had no problems. So at the end of December, I convinced my doctor to send over the script, even though he thought they didn't have it in stock. I assured them that my pharmacy did, and so they sent it over. Originally, they sent it over, it was last week. They sent it over maybe a week and a half ago, and it was 0.25, I don't know if it's milliliters or milligrams or whatever, but 0.25 is the starting milligrams. But because I was already on Saxenda 3.0, I thought that was just a little bit too low. So she gave me the next dose up, which is 0.50. Saxenda is a once a day injection, and I was doing that fine every day. I'd get home from work, 3 p.m. I would do my injection. It was fine. It took away a lot of my craving sweets and carbs and snacking, and it took away the person up in my head who was telling me to think about food all the time. There was a time about week 6 or 7 through maybe week 11 where I didn't think it was working at all. I just had went back to being ravenous and hungry, but then it just tapered back and I went back to feeling good again. So they went ahead and did the WEGOVY. At first, I needed a prior authorization. So my doctor's office, the same thing with Saxenda. They called me, got some more information. They sent it in, and my pharmacy luckily does the prior authorizations in-house. So they were just waiting for the paperwork to come back, and then I was approved for WEGOVY. So they overnighted it to me. They mailed it out on Thursday. I got it on Friday, which is yesterday. And so I started my first shot. I wanted to do it on a Friday. It actually was perfect timing that they sent it to me when they did, because I wanted to do it on a Friday in case there's any side effects, and I'll be home for the weekend and I won't have to worry about going back to work until Monday. This week, of course, Monday's a holiday, so I have until Tuesday, which is phenomenal. So I injected it yesterday for the first time, and there was no issues whatsoever. It was, I pushed it in, you wait for a click, then you wait for another click. You can see that the medication's going in. I actually thought that I did it wrong, but because no medication went out and the yellow band, it turns yellow after the medication's gone, I waited an additional 15 seconds after I was done, just to be sure. And there was no medication on me. I had no wetness, no drops of anything. So I'm assuming it went in. I did not see a hole like I did with Saxenda. I didn't see really anything. It was fine. So I'm assuming that was it. So I didn't have any reaction to it. This is about a little bit over 24 hours later, like a day and a half it is. It's like 7:05 at night. So I didn't have any issues at all. Yeah, nothing at all. So I don't feel like full like people have talked about, but I'm sure that maybe it's just because it was the first dose. The thing that WEGOVY does though is that it is once a week, so every Friday is when I'll be able to do it, which I think is phenomenal. The other thing is Saxenda and WEGOVY are not the same medication. Saxenda is a loratadine, I believe is how you say it. That's probably not how you say it, but it's loratadine, loratadine, I think. And then WEGOVY and Ozempic are semaglutides. And so it's a different type of medication. It's a GL1 something. Anyhow, you guys can look online about it, but I'm really excited. So they will give me, so I got the 4 needles yesterday, which is 1 a week for 4 weeks. So it's a month. And then they'll send me another one at 0.50, I believe, for a second month. And then they're just going to do a prior authorization after the 2 months to make sure. And that's when I'll probably go up to the 1.0 or 1.7. I'll see how I do, how much I've lost since then. And then they said, the pharmacy called me and told me that once they get that other prior authorization, then they will have it in the system for a year. And so I won't have any issues. And it costs me $34 a month. So it's $34. I'm very, very grateful. I weigh 164, as I said, and my goal, like when I weighed 350, my goal was like 190. Like if I can get under 200, and then, it was more realistic that I was going to be under 200, and I maintained it for such a long time, and have done very well, that my goal was like 160. And then I would flirt with 150s and think, maybe I should try that. So my new goal is 145. The only reason is because I'm only 5'4", but I really want to see what I look like at a normal BMI. Also, I do have an appointment next week. I think it's next Wednesday. It's actually a rescheduled appointment with my my plastic surgeon in Connecticut. It's also in Glastonbury, Connecticut, actually across the hall from where my bariatric surgeon is. So I am actually going to see him for my second follow-up and see what else I need to get the insurance to cover my tummy tuck. And then I should be able to go schedule that. So if when I saw him last time, I was 174, and he was ecstatic with that because I had come down so far. So now I'm 10 pounds lighter. And so by the time next Wednesday, I might even be, the 4 pounds, maybe even 4 pounds down or a couple more pounds, but whatever. So I'll see him. And of course, when they remove the skin on my stomach and things, maybe that weighs I mean, it's not a lot. I have some, but I don't have like, it's not a whole bunch, but I would say probably 4 pounds if I had to guess, it's 4 pounds. And so, yeah, so I have my appointment with him. And then I also next month have a appointment with my bariatric office because I have an amazing bariatric surgeon community office. I love them. And so they, even though it's been, last September was 6 years since I had surgery, they are lifelong in your life. And I haven't had to go like for blood work or anything because I've been getting it done at my PCP, or of course I had a biopsy and all of that. And so they take blood work, and then I had like, endometriosis surgery where they removed it and they need blood work for that. So I'm getting blood work like all the time. And so I really didn't need to go there, and I've been so successful. I really haven't had any questions, but they actually contacted me and told me that they missed me and they wanted me to schedule to come in just to kind of touch base. And so that's what I'm going to do. Next month I have an appointment with him in Glastonbury again, and that will be great. What am I eating? I know it's always on everybody's mind because oh, actually, let me just go back. Sorry. The biopsy that I had done on December 30th came back fine. They were more cysts, just like they were prior. They didn't look like cysts, but when they went in to do the biopsy, they actually put in what they call a clip, and it looks like a half of a staple. And they put that in my breast now. So when I have mammograms and diagnostic ultrasounds going forward, and they see that clip, when they see those little things that are in there, they will not keep sending me for biopsy after biopsy. They'll see the clip and know that they've already biopsied those, and that's okay. So I just wanted to give you guys that. Also, I don't know if I mentioned in a previous video, but a couple of days prior to that, it was like on the 28th, I actually went for my test that I needed to be able to keep my job. It's called Work Keys. It's a test that in our school district, I don't even know if this is, in the United States or just in our school district, Massachusetts. But basically it is a test that if you do not have an associate's degree in early childhood education, if you take this test, then you can keep your job or whatever, and it's the equivalent. So I went in to take that test, and as you guys remember, I just, back in August, hold on, just got my GED at 50 years old. So I was really proud of that, but that was a really hard thing. And so this Work Keys was actually really hard as well. Sorry, I gotta fix my camera here. Because I was just so nervous about the math portion, but it actually was fine. I ended up passing. They told me right then and there, which is such a huge weight lifted off my shoulders. I mean, I had that, and then I had the biopsy, and then I had, of course, you guys know, on Christmas Eve, one of my students who was just 5 years old died from a house fire, tragically. So I just had all of this like on my head. And then on top of that, just recent, my mother-in-law has discovered that she has a brain aneurysm, which thankfully she has a neurologist who will be operating on her on February 6th. Is it 6th? No, February 7th. So we decided that since my husband's military TDY was canceled, which I think it was totally God, he was supposed to be gone February 2nd through the 16th. They canceled that mission. And so it freed him up, and I decided actually, to send him to my mother and father-in-law down south. From February 6th, the day before surgery, I'll get him there early in the day. He'll be there. He'll get everybody all set. His sister is actually traveling in as well from LA. And she will be able to do wonders with my mother-in-law and taking care of the house and cooking and things like that. And my husband is the youngest of 6, and him and my father-in-law are like twins. So he will be able to hold down the fort with my father-in-law and keep his mind active while his wife's in surgery and recuperating and all of that, because my father-in-law adores her and is going to be lost. So my husband will be there from the 6th through the 10th. just to be able to make sure that he can, keep my father-in-law company and be there and do whatever he can for support. And so I'm really excited about him being able to go. Obviously, I'm going to miss him, but I'm going to totally hold down the fort while he's gone because that's what we do. Okay, so there was that. What else? Okay, what am I eating? Let's get back to that. So I'm trying to think. Prior to going on the Saxenda and everything, I was doing like meal prep, and I still do meal prep for my meals at work. But I'm not really doing it because I don't really feel like I have that much of an appetite. So I'll just give you an example. So last week I had meal prepped. I did onions and peppers and I sauteed them, and then I did steakums with a little bit of cheese on top. And I would measure out maybe, I'm going to say 3/4 of a cup of it. And I would take that to work with a string cheese and a sugar-free Jell-O and a Power Crunch bar. That's really I love Power Crunch bars. They remind me of a Kit Kat. And I love them. My new obsession is actually Barbell. I think it's called Barbell. Bearbell? Maybe Bearbell? Barebell. They sell them at Trader Joe's. I mean, they sell them anywhere, but I got them at Trader Joe's yesterday and I bought a ton of them. And they have different kinds and they taste like a candy bar, but they actually have really good stats. And they have great protein. I think 15 grams of protein per bar. And I think the Power Crunch are 10 grams, I think. But in any event, I've been liking those, and I'm not really carb conscious as much as I used to be. Like I used to be strictly keto and under 10 net carbs or under 25 net carbs or whatever. Now I eat whatever I want. And so I'm probably getting, I don't know, 50 grams of carbs, 100 grams of carbs a day. I don't really keep track. I do not use my FitnessPal anymore. I kind of wish I did, but it's not really, I don't know, it's not helpful for me at this point because I'm still losing. I'm still doing great. I still feel great. I still am doing the things I need to do. And so I really don't have to take the time to track it. But in any event, so I would take that. I'm not eating in the morning before I go to work, and I eat now. My lunch is at 11. It used to be at 11:40, which I liked better, but I got switched to a different duty at work during my lunchtime. So I go to lunch at 11. I eat my lunch. Sometimes I can finish what I packed. Some days I can't. And then when I get home, I'm hungry. Like I said, I was getting home, and at 3 p.m. I would, inject the Saxenda. And then I would have maybe a string cheese wrapped up with some lunch meat. I would maybe have 2 or 3 of those. Maybe 2 string cheeses and 3 pieces of meat. Sometimes I have egg bites. They're Nellie's egg bites. Those are really good. Sometimes I'd have, I'm trying to think what else I would have. Maybe another Power Crunch bar. Not really anything specific. Like I didn't really have anything specific getting home. And then probably before bed, actually what I've been on the kick since, and it's so funny because every time I eat it before bed, I get up and lose a couple pounds. So it must agree with me. But I will toast a English muffin and I'll put melted butter on top and peanut butter. And I eat that usually before bed, like an hour before bed. I have been having bagels, cinnamon swirl bagels with butter and cream cheese. That's really it. Like I haven't, or like nuts, I'll have like a pack of Planters salted cashews. Yeah, some nights, I mean, I'll have a little bag of Fritos. I have a little bag of Lay's potato chips. The other day, I'll tell you a funny story. And, eating those, I'm not gaining. I'm still losing. So I think it's just because I'm not eating a lot, and so that doesn't really add up to a lot. And I think, with the Saxenda and then now the WEGOVY, I think it's just gonna balance itself out. But anyways, I was driving to work on Wednesday, I believe, of last week. Yeah, Wednesday. And I had taken my vitamins in the morning, but I inadvertently did not eat enough before taking an iron and a multivitamin. I never take my multivitamin in the morning. Never. I know better. But for some reason this day I thought that it was okay. So I took the pills. I take I might as well just tell you guys while I'm here. I take turmeric and curcumin with black pepper. I take magnesium. I take calcium citrate, D3, sometimes an iron, and my multivitamin. And I believe that's it. Yes, so that's all I take. And so on this particular day, I took it, didn't think anything of it, started, brought my other daughter to high school, dropped her off, went back home to get my last child out the door on the bus and leave for work, per usual. But as I left for work, I took a left off my street like normal. I get down, and all of a sudden I felt a little queasy, and I knew that something was wrong. And so I think I took my pills and didn't eat enough. So I opened up my lunch and I took out the sugar-free Jell-O, and I ate the Jell-O. But then as I was taking a right onto the street to bring me to my school, oh no, I knew I was going to throw up. That was it. I had brought some Clorox wipes and Lysol spray to school for my classroom. I chucked those out of the bag, took the bag, and just started puking my heart out. And so I had to turn around and go home because I had thought it might have been the flu, because the prior weekend, 3 of my family members, 3 out of the 6 of us had the flu, and I never got it. So I thought, I could have the flu. I cannot go into that school. So I get home, I lay down, I let everybody know what's happening. I have the shakes. I'm miserable. I didn't throw up again, but just miserable. So then as the day went on, like a couple hours passed, I'm texting my husband. He's at work, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like hungry, like I'm starving. And he's telling me, don't eat anything, because if it's the flu, you're going to feel terrible. Just eat little things. But I'm like, I'm hungry. So I go downstairs. This is what I ate. I ate they're 1 ounce bags. So Fritos, Lay's potato chips, a 6-pack of the little crackers with the cheese in the middle, a Power Crunch bar, and a Chalk Zero bark. I come upstairs where I am. I'm laying right here on my pillow. That's my little pink boppy pillow thing I put my head on. And I had my heating pad, which I have out there still. And I just could not eat enough. So I ate all of that. A little while later, I went back downstairs. I made myself a bagel. I ate that. I think I probably had another bag of chips. I don't even know. But all I know is that the next day, I felt phenomenal. Even a little bit that same day, I felt phenomenal. But that other day, I felt great. Everything was fine. Went to school on Thursday. Was fine. Friday, had a half a day. Came home. And then today. And I feel fine. And I've lost more weight. So go figure. But I really honestly think it's because I'm not eating crappy all day long. Like I just have one day where I might have those things, and then the next day I'll just have a little bit of something. Or, as long as I'm eating enough, because I can't, if I only have 1,000 calories, it just does not, my body does not react to that. I can eat maybe 1,200, 1,500. That's kind of where my body is. If I get that much, that's great. I'm tanking down the water, because one of the side effects that I have been experiencing with Saxenda has been constipation. But WEGOVY now, it seems it might be opposite. So I'm gonna have to figure it out. But I've been drinking, I get about 80 ounces of water per day. And yeah, so that's it. This week coming, I purchased at Costco. Is it Costco? No, Trader Joe's. I went shopping yesterday at Costco and Trader Joe's. And at Trader Joe's, I picked up this chicken. It's just chicken fully cooked with veggies all in it. So that I'm going to portion out for the week at work. And then I also have broccoli. I'm going to be steaming some broccoli. And what was the meat I had with that? I had some meat. I don't remember if it's pork, maybe pork belly. I also found these cute little sausages by Titan Foods, Teton, but it's organic, grass-fed, wonderful. So I have that, and they're little mini cocktail franks kind of sausages, but they're super cute. So I'm gonna have those. I think I'll put a little barbecue sauce on them, and then I'll have it with some broccoli and possibly some rice. And that's really what I'm gonna eat on for the next week. So it's been, I can't complain. I really cannot complain. I'm so happy with being at 164. And the funny thing is that I am losing inches galore. Like the pants I'm wearing, my pajama bottoms, are my favorite, and they're size medium, and I can literally stand up and they just fall off, like just about fall off. But they're my favorite. They have a hole in the leg. I don't even care. I've had them for a couple years, probably like 3 years. They are my absolute favorite pajama bottoms. And I went to go buy another pair on Amazon, and they don't exist anymore. So, but anyways, I have talked you guys' ear off. I have missed you. It's 25 minutes into this video. If you stayed this long, I appreciate you. And I will continue to post about WEGOVY and how it's going. Yeah, so I'll let you guys know how my skin removal surgery update is going and all of that. And until next time, thanks.